In this Master That Riff lesson, I'm going to be looking at a tune called Sweaty Knockers by the Aristocrats. Now, if you've not heard of the Aristocrats, they're a band, it's a trio. It's got Guthrie Gumming on guitar, Brian Beller on bass, and Marco Miniman on drums. So it's some pretty phenomenal kind of musicianship going on there. And their album is out on September 13th, but they've released a little sneak peek single from that called Sweaty Knockers, which is a great title. So I thought it'd be quite cool if we just looked at the two main riffs, intro riffs to Sweaty Knockers, just to kind of whet our appetite before the actual album comes out itself. So the song starts off, I'll look at two sections. The first section is about kind of 8 bars long, and it's all based around this kind of E power chord here. Open E power chord, so I'm open E string, and then I'm playing the A and D strings at the 2nd fret, barring my first finger. But you have a cool rhythmical vamp here that's slightly displaced feeling. What we start off with is we play that open E string. Then what I'm going to do is just the A and the D strings together. I play that with the down up. So that's like my first kind of half of 4 groups of 16ths there. And then I play down up with it just muted to give you a percussive sound. So that kind of goes. And that's what gives it this kind of cool punchy kind of tone at the beginning, because we're playing this inverted power chord essentially here. It gives you a bit more of a kind of punchier sound. It's the same sort of chord you would play in, you know, Smoke in the Water and all that sort of stuff. So we do that, that's our first beat. We play, that's our first beat. Our second beat, we play the A and D strings once, then I do a down up with it muted for the percussive sound. Then I do that again. Okay, so I've put everything we've done so far. It goes. Okay, now the next bit, I almost think this is better to feel going into the next bar. So you play your little A and D string inverted power chord, then you have a percussive sound, then you play upstroke with that chord, then I play open E string, then I play the power chord again, then I've got 2 percussive sounds. Okay, so if I put that together, it goes. Okay, slow that down. Okay, and then what we have is we play our power chord again, A and D strings, and we do a down up with the percussive again. Okay, so that's quite a lot to look at in detail there, but if you kind of look at the tab and just kind of look for the pattern, I mean, you can hear the pulse of the riff anyway. But if I put that together, start with the first bar, it goes. Okay. Then what we have at the end of the second bar is a little kind of country fill. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my 5th fret on the D string and I'm going to use my 4th finger here. And what I'm going to do is, ever so slightly, I just put a little bend in that. And then I'm going to pull off the 2nd fret of that D string, an open D string, so you have this kind of 3 notes. So you have a long first note and then it's kind of 2 quick pull offs. Okay. Then what I do after that is I go to the 5th fret of the A string and I'm going to do a bend there on that A string, 4th finger, and I pull off to the open A string. So if I put that together, it kind of goes. Okay, a little bit faster. Okay, and then once I've done that, I play open D string. So that kind of goes. Then I'm going to take my middle finger and do a pull off 3 to 0. Once again, I put a little quarter note bend, just a little tweak on it rather than just doing a straight pull off. And then I play 2nd fret of that D string, the first finger. So slowly that whole thing goes. A bit faster. Okay, so the first 2 bars go. Next 2 bars, we start off with the same similar idea, playing a little rhythmical vamp on this E power chord. But I start off with the first beat now. I'm going to play open E string, then I play those A and D strings together, so it's like open E string, I plan to play that with a downstroke, and I'm going to play the A and D strings, second fret there with my first finger with an upstroke, and then as usual, two little percussive sounds after that. So that first beat goes, okay. Then I have once again my A and D power chord, two percussive sounds, then again, and this time, I mean, the whole kind of riff is, it's not, you don't have to be too accurate with it, but sometimes you hear that kind of E kind of come in just to change up the rhythm a little bit. So that time you might want to do like a, and just kind of hit all three strings there, but you know, it's not too important. Now this time in beat 4, we do our A and D power chord, then I play the open E string, and then I play the A and D strings again. So that's in beat 4, so that beat 4 of this bar 3 supposed 8-bar riff goes, okay, so you have to get that open E string in there. And then what you do in the next bar is you play the A and D string inverted power chord twice, and then you have a percussive, then you play E string, and then you play the A and the D strings together. Okay, once again, it kind of makes it sound more complicated than it really is if you listen to it, but if I play it, that whole sequence goes, okay. Then what we have is another little fill, very country style I suppose. What we have to begin with though is I'm going to slide, so my first finger's at the 2nd fret, but I'm going to slide up to 9th fret in the D string. Okay, with that first finger, so I can go. Then I'm going to let all this ring together and play open E string and open B string. Then what I'm going to do is play 3, 2 on the G string there, and I use my 2nd to 1st finger, so that bit kind of goes. Okay. Then so that's kind of our kind of 4 notes there. That's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat 3 there. So it kind of goes. Then what I'm going to do is play the open E string again. Then I'm going to do a pull off 5 to 2 in the D string, but again, a little bend on it there. Then I play the open E string again. So those last 4 notes go. The whole little fill goes. So if I put those 2 bars together, so what it sounds like. In the next 2 bars, it's almost as if we're playing our very first bar again, but because it feels kind of rhythmic display, it's feels as an accent on the 2nd 16th in the bar, but really what you're doing here is you start off again with this E string, but the accent's really on that upstroke there on your A and D string power chord again. Okay, but once we've done that, our 2 percussive sounds again, then it's that chord, 2 percussive, chord, and then just like we had in bar 1, I play chord, percussive sound, upstroke, then next bar I play that open E string, chord, 2 percussive sounds, and then chord. Okay, so if I put that together, once again you can look at the tab, it goes. Okay, now this time we've got another kind of open string kind of fill, and we start this one off by playing a bend in the A string. Now you can use the 4th finger, 3rd finger, whatever you want here. I do a little bend, so bend at that 5th fret, just up ever so slightly, and I play the open D string, so it's the same note really. Then I play the open A string, so it kind of goes. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is play a pull off 4 to 2 on the A string, and I use my 3rd to 1st finger here. But once again, I just put a little slight bend in that. Okay, so that kind of goes. Then I play open D string again. Then I'm going to play very similar to the end of the second bar. I do that little pull off 3 to 0 on the E string. I'm using my middle finger. And I use a little bender. My first finger plays second fret of the D. So that little fill goes. Okay, so you're kind of starting, that's the 16th from kind of bar 2, and it actually starts here. If you speed it up, the last 2 bars of this first 8 bars, start off again, a little E, kind of riff again, as usual, start with open E string, A and D strings together, 2 percussive sounds, A and D, 2 percussive sounds, A and D, 2 percussive sounds. Then I have A and D again, and this time when I'm doing this down and up, I do the percussive sound and open A and D strings there, because this is a little T up. To play the A and D strings twice at the start of the next bar, so that kind of goes. And then what you're doing here, percussive sound, open E string as you let it ring, and this bar ends by playing a bend, slow bend, 5th fret of the D string, they're just bending up a half step. But you have this E string ringing into it. Okay. So those last 2 bars go. Now we get into the second riff. Before we start it though, as usual, we've got, everything's built up to this point. So on the guitar, you can do a kind of slide up and down the neck, up in the E string or whatever, just to kind of lead into the main riff. Now what we're going to do here is we start off with an open E string, which is in the previous bar. Then this note, 3rd fret of that E string with the first finger. The start of the kind of main riff, the start of the beat. So I'll play open E string, then I'm going to play 3, 4, 5 with the 1st, 2nd, 3rd fingers in that E string. Then I'll go back down, 4, 3, 0. So this goes. So I kind of got this cool little bluesy sound to it, because it's major 3rd there. Okay. Then once I've played that open E string, I play 5th fret of the A string with the 3rd finger, open E string again, then 4th fret of the A string with the 2nd finger. Okay, so that goes. Okay, then what I'm going to do is play 5, 3, 0 on the E string with the 3rd and 1st fingers. So together that goes. Okay, then what I have is a very quick slide with my 3rd finger, 5th fret to 6th fret back to 5th fret, and then I play 3rd fret of that E string. All together that goes. Okay, so that's kind of your, I suppose, almost like the first half of it. Okay. Now what we have is we've ended in this 3rd fret of the E string here with the 1st finger. I'm going to go up an octave and play 5th fret of the D string. But what I do is I give it a little pinch harmonic there. I'm using my 3rd finger as well, but just a little pinch harmonic, and I slide 5 to 4. And then what I'm doing is I play my 1st finger at the 2nd fret of the A string there. So you can almost imagine a little B power chord, but you're sliding into it. Okay, so do that slide, 2nd fret A string, then I play open A string. Okay, so that goes. Then what I'm going to do is play 4, 2 in the D string with the 3rd to 1st finger. So that goes. Okay, and then what I have is open E string, 3rd fret E string, open E string. Okay, so that goes. Okay, and then once I've done that, I have my little slide 5 to 6, and then 3rd fret the E string, and then I just play an E power chord at the end of that. So slowly, that 2nd half of the pinch harmonic goes like this. Put the first and the second bits together, play at a slow tempo, it goes. So that's effectively our riff. All we do is we just change the ending each time we play it. We play this riff 3 times. The second time we play through it, instead of ending with a E power chord, we go, and I play the 7th fret, the D and the G strings there, and then I slide it off. Okay, so the kind of second time the riff sounds like this. The third time, we end with this. I go to the 2nd fret of the E string there with the first finger, so it kind of goes. Then what I do is play open E string, open B string, let it all ring, and then I play 3rd fret that G string, and I just give it a little kind of wobble with a whammy bar there just to put a vibrato in it. So the third time through the riff sounds like this. So why not? Let me run through that riff. I'll play it 3 times with the 3 different endings. This is what it sounds like.